How's it going, guys? We're gonna do a completely different kind of video for the Library of Ruina today. This isn't gonna be a scolding video or anything of that to you guys. I want to level with you so that you can understand where I'm coming from and my point of view with things regarding what I am about to say. This isn't having to do with anything with I think you guys need to change something about the way that you're commenting on things, okay? Just let me put that line in the sand right now. I just want to assess some very specific points, which is why I made the video in the first place with it. But just to put the first disclaimer, really, I just want you guys to know that, like, I have this really mild annoyance thing. I made, like, a big old video regarding something in Starbound that people called me out for on 2 occasions for correcting me on things. When people correct me, or they call me out on something, or they give me advice about things that I just already know ahead of time, like, I know it 100%, I don't know why, but it irritates me very mildly. It's nothing that you need to feel bad about in any way, shape, or form. You don't need to change anything about what you do. This is a problem with me and me alone. It's just, for some reason, my brain interprets it immediately, even if that's not what your intention was, as kind of an assault on my intelligence, and I don't know why that is. Like I said, that's a problem on me, and it's okay. I have grown up considerably from my bygone faggoty high school years where I used to fucking blow up on people over this shit, so it's fine. I'm not gonna yell at anybody over giving me advice, because you are meaning it with the best of intents, and that's fine. I just want you to know that, like, a lot of times when I read things that I already know, like, it gets to me over time with things, and try to think of that with the specific points that I'm going to be highlighting next regarding it. It has nothing to do with, like, the normal tips that you guys have been giving me, because I've been with this game for a little while now, and I think I have a very firm understanding of 95% of the fucking mechanics in the game, up until it comes into the whole 2 speed dice thing, but we'll go into that in a minute. So, first and foremost, interception. We will go back into this again when we tackle the double speed dice thing that's on Mars's card, but interception. Yes, I know, I understand. Only the player can intercept, and you can only intercept when you have a higher speed dice. Yep, I get that, 100%, and I know the whole, like, equal speed dice thing and all that stuff, yes. That is a thing that I completely understand. My wording in the most recent video that I had put up where I was saying that Julia was intercepting me, I know that it wasn't the right word to use, but I have a lapse in memory oftentimes when I am recording, because talking and trying to be informative and say things exactly the way that you want to say them, while also trying to, like, competently play the Library of Ruina and play it properly and be able to do good at what you're doing, it's a very difficult thing to do. The game is very mechanically complicated. You're not going to remember everything that you're remembering. Try to explain the Library of Ruina's mechanics to somebody while playing the game without stopping, by the way. Try doing that to somebody and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You trip over words and then you start falling apart, and then your performance starts to show in the game. You start, like, tripping up on things as you're explaining. It's just how brains function. You can't multitask like that and be 100% efficient and just throw things out there like that. That's not how at least the vast majority of people function. So I understand interception, I get it. Next point, RNGesus. So, let me just go ahead and level out with you guys. I don't have a problem with RNG. I've never had a problem with RNG. So, for anybody who genuinely thinks 100% in their heart of hearts that I honestly believe, like I truly believe, that Project Moon is conspiring against us and making it so that enemy speed rolls after a certain point in the game, or there's like a difficulty slider or something like that where their rolls get tweaked ever so slightly so that they're more lucky. No, why would I believe that? I have no evidence to support this in any way, shape, or form. Why would I believe that? It's just a thing that I thought that I would mention right there, because I was like, wow, that'd be really stupid and annoying if that happened, and then I never spoke of it again. Let's not forget, 2 episodes before this happened, Demo Ad literally mopped the floor with 3 of the same people that I was fighting for the most part in that level. They had all the same cards. Demo literally beat the shit out of all 3 of them with lucky rolls, where RNG was in my favor and not the enemy's favor. RNG is just RNG, that's all. So let's also move over to this point, because I'm sick of hearing this and talking about this with everybody. There is no good RNG and there is no bad RNG. There is just RNG. RNG is a line of code, sometimes more than one line of code, depending on the coding language that you're using, that serves one specific purpose. And it is in every single video game that you will play. RNG is just a math-related function to randomly generate a number to be used in some kind of a conditional to make it so that the result of an action or the permutation of it is not static. It doesn't have the same result every time. It makes things unpredictable, much like life is unpredictable. A computer program without a random number generator in it is completely predictable. You just need to understand the algorithm and the function and the logic that is being used in the code. RNG has one specific function: to make the game non-static and non-predictable. I don't have a problem with RNG. That'd be like getting mad at sewing whenever that I have to sew because I have to use fucking sewing needles for it. That's stupid. It's just an inherent part of programming a video game. It has to have an RNG thing in it somewhere to make it non-static. Otherwise, the game is too easy. It's too predictable. So just enough with this thing about disliking RNG. The only problem that I had with Lobotomy Corporation with RNG was how unforgiving the game was with bad RNG. That's all. That's literally not even present in the library of Ruina anymore. They completely removed the problem of RNG. So stop talking about bad RNG, good RNG. It doesn't matter. RNG is RNG. Let's move on to the next point, please. Okay, so speed dice. Oh. This is the big one right here. I understand that with interception, if you have multiple interceptions, the last person that was ordered, or the last action, rather, that was ordered to intercept a lower speed dice gets priority over the clash. I understand that one, but the one thing that I didn't get was that enemies attack a specific speed dice on the character based on the fucking... if you have two speed dice, right? So if you roll a 5 and a 2 with Mars's card, and somebody rolls a 4 and they're attacking that player, they will automatically target the 2 speed dice, whether or not that 2 is the leftmost die. Now, we are a left-to-right reading fucking, English is a left-to-right language, so by default, I'm thinking the leftmost speed dice, if I'm going to do one attack, would make sense to just click on that. I didn't think to trail it to a specific speed die, and it makes sense thinking about it in retrospect now, but the point of the matter is it's something that they could have talked about for 5 fucking seconds. It's something that they could have gone over. I don't even think that they actually even talk about 2 speed dice and the direct mechanics of that and a clash in the first place, and this led to a shitload of confusion in the Fragment of the Universe boss fight. Honestly, it would have been cooler if they just always attacked the lower speed dice, or if they reordered the speed dice so that your highest roll is always on the left, but they didn't. They didn't, so there's a good chance that you're just going to think that they're targeting the character, not the speed dice. It'll never go into your brain like me, and then you'll just click a lower speed dice, and then you're not fucking clashing with anything, because you guys see what the problem with that is? Am I not the only one? When you're doing a one-on-one fight with a Fragment of the Universe, why is that even a thing that can happen, that you click on the lower speed dice and you never even clash? If I had 1 speed dice and not 2, it would never happen. It wouldn't matter if I rolled a 1 the whole entire fight. I would never not clash with the Fragment of the Universe. Do you see why that's a problem right there? You are more than welcome to like the system the way that it is in the game currently right now. That's fine if you prefer it that way. But frankly, when it comes to targeting, they should just target the character and not the speed dice in the first place, by the way that I think. Or at least make it so that, if you're going to do one attack, it always prioritizes the highest speed dice, because then you risk just not clashing with people altogether, and you don't know why, because the game never explains it in any way, shape, or form. Again, you are more than welcome to like the more convoluted way that it is right now, but when I'm looking at something in an objective fashion, something that willingly does not go over this information with you in any way, shape, or form, and you just kind of fucking are expected to know it when you go into the game, that is an objective flaw with the game that needs to at least be addressed at some point when you get Mars's card. You get what I'm saying there? That's a problem with the game right there. It's a mild problem, don't get me wrong. I don't think that this is game breaking in any way, shape, or form, but objectively, it's a problem because you're not clashing with people when you pick the wrong speed die. Like, that's... I don't know, that shouldn't be a thing that should be happening in a one-on-one fight. I shouldn't be not clashing with the fragment of the universe because I picked the wrong speed dice. It just doesn't make sense to me. Whether or not that I had even noticed it in the first place is completely irrelevant. You missed the point if you think that it's because it's completely on me because I didn't see the fucking target lines over the dice or something, because it's still a problem. It's not a thing that they ever talk about. They never say that they are attacking your speed dice. The wording is never specific to just the user interface in general with the way that speed dice works in this game. It just doesn't complement that system very well and leads to confusion, and that's what my problem is, and that's what I was saying by it needs a timeline of some sort, because then you could just see that the cards do not link up on the left side of the screen. If there was a timeline, it would show Netsack using this combat card, and then next, right after that, immediately underneath it, the fucking fragment of the universe using this card, and you don't see like a sword or crossed swords in between them on the same line or something like that. Do you not see how that would benefit, though? Like, I'm not crazy here. I think that I'm putting a really decent point, illustrating a decent point here, in providing my evidence, my thesis and stuff, and supporting it in some way. I'm not just some idiot that's not seeing what's going on the screen. I'm just saying that the game does not do the best job in the world with explaining two speed dice, if they even explained double speed dice at all. I don't remember, and I don't have the game up currently right now. That's all that I'm saying, guys, but just, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video right here. I wanted to make it a short and sweet one, and dear God that I managed to actually do it this time without hitting the 20-minute mark, thank fuck. So, those are the things I'm talking about here, guys. Don't just stop sending me, like, tips and stuff, because, again, I did learn from the last couple of episodes, especially with how two evade dice cancel each other out. I never saw that little line right there when two evade dice go at each other, so that was good to be reminded of that. Just, a lot of times I get, like, a lapse in judgment about different things that happen as I'm going through the game, and I did not remember reading that all together as I was going through, so I just missed that one entirely. I literally didn't know that, wouldn't have known that until I read the comments, so thank you. I believe that was a medium player that told me that one about the evade dice canceling each other out with the Jiffy picture with it. So, thank you guys for doing that stuff. Like, I do appreciate when you are sending me the different, like, tips about things. I'm just saying that with, like, some of this stuff, try to be patient with me, is all. Try to understand it from me as a Let's Player, as a guy making videos, that I am multitasking like a motherfucker, and I do have ADHD. I do have diagnosed ADHD with shit. It's not just like an excuse that I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm just trying to, again, get you to understand my brain and how it works with things. Like, it's just... yeah, you know what, you guys get it. You guys understand what I am saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down. So, just on one final note, I want to put in one smaller thing right here, guys, though, but just going along to that whole two-speed dice thing, like, even if you guys feel that I'm, like, one of the only people or the only person in the community that has a problem with the two-speed dice thing, where I just wasn't clashing with things and didn't know and think that it's a problem with the game, if you think that I'm the only person that, because of that, rather, that it makes my point any less valid, it really doesn't in terms of objectivity. Like, it doesn't, and people get really butthurt about the word objective and objectivity for some reason, but it's a factual thing. They never went over it in the guide in any way, shape, or form, and I checked it just to make sure. There is nothing talking about two speed dice, and it's just misleading from the whole entire experience that you have up until you get Mars's card, because when you attack a card that is attacking you, and there's a target line over you, you know they're attacking you. When you have one speed dice, it is impossible not to clash with them. This can only happen with two speed dice. And how would you know to use one of the specific speed dice that they're attacking? It's something that they should have gone over with. The only thing that they say about speed dice in the guide is that the highest numbers have the best priority, or the top priority, over determining the order of moves. that in and of itself is a very vague descriptor of how speed dice works in the first place. I just feel like with the amount of detail that they put into the guide and all the different things into this game, they could have gone into it with a little bit more detail. But the game is in early access, so that is fine. I don't want to ball bust everything over it, though. It's perfectly fine, but just that is my point on the matter. I have put my 2 cents in there. Tell me what you guys think about the points that I laid out for you on this one, please. I will see you later. Just be patient with me in the future and stuff, and just stop knocking RNG, please. It's just a function in computer code that has to go in games. I'm sorry, but just, yeah, done. Ending video.